Hello, hi everyone. This is Dr. Sana Khan, your biology expert, and you're watching my channel NEET Biology Unplugged. So ह्यूमन रिप्रोडक्शन को आगे कंटिन्यू करते हैं और आज के लेक्चर में हम पढ़ेंगे अबाउट स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ ओवम एंड द प्रोसेस ऑफ oogenesis. अगर आपने पीछे के वीडियोस नहीं देखे हैं तो प्लीज गो टू द चैनल एंड वॉच द एंटायर वीडियो सो दैट यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड दिस चैप्टर वेरी इजीली. So today we are going to concentrate on the process of oogenesis. So let us see what is exactly oogenesis. Oogenesis is a process of formation of the haploid female gamete, that is an ovum, from the diploid germinal epithelium. हमने ऑलरेडी स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ ओवरीज पढ़ी हुई है, जहां पर हमने पढ़ा था कि ओवरीज आर लाइंड बाय अ सिंगल लेयर ऑफ जर्मिनल एपिथेलियम एंड these epithelial tissues are diploid in nature. So these diploid cells undergo certain processes and they form an haploid female gamete, that is ovum, and this process is called as oogenesis. So it is going to involve meiosis as well as mitosis, which we have already studied in spermatogenesis as well. In spermatogenesis, we studied that how the germinal epithelium led to the formation of sperm. Okay, so let's start with the process of oogenesis. So I'm going to do it with a schematic diagram, the same way as I had done in the spermatogenesis. So what is this? This is a primordial cell which is diploid in nature. So this is the cell which is present in the internal structure of ovaries. So as we have already studied, ovaries are lined by a single layer of germinal epithelial cells. Do you remember which kind of germinal epithelial cells it were? Yes, it were cuboidal epithelial cells. So these germinal epithelial cells, also called as primordial cells, which are diploid in nature, they undergo mitosis and they form a large number of oogonium, and oogonium are also diploid in nature. So this step is called as multiplication phase. So what do we say here? In multiplication phase, the primordial cell undergo mitosis and they form a large number of oogonium. Now this oogonium is going to increase in size. It's going to acquire food and it's going to increase in size, and it is going to be called as primary oocyte, which is again diploid in nature. So this phase, as here there is a growth taking place, so this phase is called as growth phase. Now what happens? Now the primary oocyte undergoes meiosis 1 and it forms two cells, obviously. But these cells are going to be which nature? They are going to be haploid or diploid? Yes, they are going to be haploid. And the one will be called as secondary oocyte and the other one will be called as first polar body. But what can you see over here? We can clearly see in the schematic that one cell is very big and one cell is very small. Why is it so? It is because the secondary oocyte has to ultimately lead to the formation of zygote. So what happens over here? The primary oocyte shows unequal division. Yes, what does it show? It shows unequal division. So it is going to show equal nuclear division but unequal cytoplasm division. Very, very important for your NEET exams. So as I repeat, what is primary oocyte going to undergo? It is going to undergo equal nuclear division but unequal cytoplasmic division. So the cell which is going to have more cytoplasm is going to called as secondary oocyte. Why is it having more cytoplasm? Because it has to form zygote. And the other one will be called as first polar body. So this phase is called as maturation phase. So now the secondary oocyte gets released during the ovulation phase but if the sperm comes in during that time, so what happens? This secondary oocyte which has got arrested at meiosis 2. We have already studied, right? That secondary oocyte starts with a meiosis 2 but it doesn't complete its meiosis 2. It gets arrested at metaphase stage. So when does it complete its meiosis 2? Only after fertilization. So if the sperm comes, it fertilizes the secondary oocyte and the secondary oocyte completes its meiosis too and forms two cells. Obviously, the one is going to be the zygote because the sperm has come over here, and the other one would be the second polar body. Okay, so zygote is formed, and the other one is your second polar body. And the first polar body which was formed, it will also complete its meiosis too, and now together there would be three polar bodies formed. It's again a very important MCQ. See, you need to remember that during meiosis 1, there is only one polar body because primary oocyte has only undergone meiosis 1. where it has formed the secondary oocyte, which is haploid in nature, and the first polar body. But if only and only if fertilization is taking place, meiosis 2 gets completed, and at the end, 3 polar bodies are formed which get degenerated. So this is the process of oogenesis, where from the primordial cell, the secondary oocyte is formed. Let us go into more detail. Okay, so let's revise it. So oogenesis involves three phases. So the first one is your multiplication cell, well, primary germinal cell. Yes, the primordial cell. Please remember it as PGC. कभी भी आपको कुछ भी पूछ सकते हैं एग्जाम में. So आपको आना चाहिए कि PGC means primary germinal cells. Okay, so they undergo mitosis and they form large number of oogonium, which is diploid in nature. Oogonium in human beings are formed in ovary of female baby even before birth. ये हमने already पढ़ा हुआ है Histologium ovaries में. So just before puberty, under the influence of FSH, few oogonium grows in size. So as few oogonium are growing in size, this phase is called as which phase? It's called as growth phase. So growth in size of oogonium is larger than that seen in spermatogenesis, and now we call as oogonium as primary oocyte, which is 2N. So the cellular organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, and mitochondria also increase in number. Now comes your maturation phase, where primary oocyte undergoes maturation, or we say that it undergoes meiotic division. So two steps, right? The first one would be meiosis 1, where the division of primary oocyte shows equal nuclear division but unequal cytoplasmic division. This statement is very, very important. Equal nuclear division but unequal cytoplasmic division. So at the end of meiosis 1, at the end of the meiosis 1, a large-sized haploid secondary oocyte and an haploid small-sized polar bodies are formed. So why does this unequal division take place? As I told you, unequal division is meant for sufficient supply of food for the developing embryo. And secondary oocyte and the polar bodies undergo second meiotic division and get arrested at metaphase stage. And finally, it is released from ovaries. So remaining part of the division is completed at the time of fertilization. So now this division is unequal, by which the functional female gamete ovum is formed. So this ovum is very much ready for fertilization. So if for example, the sperms come, complete its meiosis 2 and form the zygote, and the 3 polar bodies later on degenerate. So this is all about your oogenesis. So this is the formation of ovum from the primordial cell or germinal epithelial cells. Now let us go to the structure of human ovum. It's a very easy structure. Already you have studied in histology of ovaries about the layers of the Graafian follicle, and we have also studied the ovaries in detail in the previous lectures. Okay, let us see few things about ovum. So ovum is a haploid female gamete, so 22X, as you must be knowing that the female sex chromosome carries X and X. So here, as it is an haploid in nature, so total it is 22X. It's produced by ovaries, released at secondary oocyte stage, and it is the largest cell in the body. What is the diameter? It is around 0.1 mm or 100 micron in diameter. Okay, so it's a non-motile gamete. That's why the sperm has a tail, that is the flagella, through which it reaches the ovum. So human ovum has a large eccentric nucleus, which is called as terminal vesicle. So it has a nucleus which is eccentric, okay, and it is called as germinal vesicle. It has a lots of cytoplasm, and the cytoplasm over here is called as ooplasm. Cytoplasm has no or little yolk, okay, and it might be having, it actually has a little bit of yolk, and it is called as microlecithal. So there are no centrioles. It's called as non-cladoic. Non-cladoic means it is without shell. It's rounded, non-motile, and the cytoplasm of egg is called as ooplasm, as we have already said. So now let us see the structure of ovum. So this is the ovum, which is called as a secondary oocyte. This is the nucleus, eccentric nucleus. This is the membrane, which is called as vitelline membrane. Okay, so the egg membrane is called as vitelline membrane. Please remember that the egg membrane is called as vitelline membrane. और ये vitelline membrane क्या secrete करती है? ये secrete करती है non-cellular glycoproteinase membrane, okay, which is called as zona pellucida. The zona pellucida के अंदर there is a space which is called as perivitelline space, which you can clearly see over here. So as now we can say that between the vitelline membrane and the zona pellucida is a fluid filled space. So this is a fluid filled space which is called as perivitelline space, which is having the first polar body. Okay, so this will be zona pellucida. As I told you that in between your oocyte and zona pellucida, there is a perivitelline space which is filled with a fluid which is having a first polar body. And this zona pellucida is a non-cellular layer. It is secreted by the ovum. Outer to zona pellucida, you have a radially elongated cells, okay, called as corona radiata. So these cells are called as what? These cells are corona radiata. Now, from where these cells have come? Do you remember the structure of Graafian follicle that we studied in the previous lecture? It is the layer, it is the innermost layer of the granulosa cells which change up and forms corona radiata. And these cells are firmly held to each other and to zona pellucida by hyaluronic acid, which is a mucopolysaccharide. Okay, so what is, let's revise the structure of ovum. So this is the ovum, okay. So this is the ovum which is having an eccentric nucleus. The membrane of the ovum is called as vitelline membrane. Outside the vitelline membrane, this is a space which is called as perivitelline space, which is filled with a fluid, and it is going to have the first polar body. Outside the perivitelline space, we have zona pellucida, which is non-cellular clean glycoprotein layer secreted by ovum itself. Okay, and outer to that we have a radially arranged cells called corona radiata, which are the innermost layer cells of the granulosa cells, and these are glued together as well as to zona pellucida by hyaluronic acid, which is a mucopolysaccharide. Okay, so apart from that, there are two poles, that is animal and vegetable pole. So the side which is having the germinal vesicle and the first polar body, okay, so this is an area which is going to have your nucleus and the first polar body. So that side is called as animal pole and the opposite pole is called as vegetal pole. So we say that the eggs show polarity, that is, and the two poles are animal and vegetal pole. So this completes the structure of ovum. Okay, so this is the description of human ovum, which I have already spoke about it when we were drawing the diagram of human ovum. So as I said, it shows polarity, animal pole and vegetal pole. So this is all about the process of oogenesis and the structure of ovum. So if you have not seen the first, second, third, fourth, fifth lectures, please go and see, because this is the sixth lecture of the chapter human reproduction. And soon I'm going to come up with the seventh lecture where we are going to talk about fertilization. So if you have any doubts, you can write it in the comment box. And I know many of the students are commenting me to upload lots and lots of video. I'm going to try my level best and going to upload many stuffs which you have already told me either on YouTube or personally. So till then, please practice and work very hard and try to support me by subscribing to my channel and sharing to your friends, to your colleagues. I'll meet you soon with the next video. Till then, bye. Take care. Be safe. Be at home and enjoy. Bye.